respected dignitaries in the dais, Reverend Dr. Bibinmon Varghese, Vice Principal of Pavanatma College, and faculty members, teachers, scholars, and dear friends. Today I am sharing some thoughts about the protest in Idukki. My topic for the people of protest in history of unending fulmination in the heavens in Idukki. We know that the history of Idukki, the one of the mountainous district, and was established in 26th January 1972, and the notification number of 24th January 1972, and including 5 taluks, that is Bibinmon, Peasant, Idukki, and Thodupuzha, and the district highly heterogeneous in the matter of the people, their culture, climate, cropping pattern, physiographic features, etc. Actually, the migration started in Idukki in the 18th century, and the 19th century, the coming of the Britishers, they started for the plantations, tea plantations and the coffee. So they started the migration in Idukki. And in this topic mainly focus about the protest movement. There are only for the 9 protest movement in Idukki. The first, the protest of the blockaders drivers in 1912. That means before the 108 years. Okay, that's actually happened in the pyramid. That time pyramid was under the control of the Britishers. The tea plantations, they are mostly depend upon the bullock carts. That means Kalavandi bullock carts. So they started for the strike in 1912, and the Britishers arranged the lorry, but that was not in the favor of the areas, and they started for they are planning to establish the rope system. This is a photograph of the rope system established by Britishers in 1924. So what happened? So finally, the plantation owners suppressed the workers' strike, and the next strike, Kodilkatti strike, that means hard strike in 1918, and Muna is a very important strike. It's related to the establishment of the beverage outlet, and people there protest, and they are started for the making of the kudil in the government properties, and this actually is a driving for the tahsildar. What happened? Then finally the pattern was cancelled and protest was declared. And the next one is a hunger march. It's a very famous in Pattan colony related in places in Nedumandam. Pattan colony was established in 1955 during the period of the Pattan Dhanapalli. And that time the government, the main aim of this Pattan colony, increase the food production of our state. But the government was not promised their guarantees. Then 1956, T.K. Vasu, M.R. Damodaran, Kaliyar Padmanabhan, M. Panikar, they started for the hunger march in Pattam to Trivandrum. This is one of the very famous and the most important strike in the history of the Idukki district. And next one, Ayyappan Kovil evacuation and the Amaravati strike. You know that? So it's a part of the migration. We know that the big cities emerged in Idukki. So one of the big cities in 1915, Ayyappan Kovil, not in Kattappana, Ayyappan Kovil. So well, the plan for the hydroelectric project, we know that the Idukki is a hydroelectric, one of the important and the major hydroelectric project in India. And then the government planning to evacuate those people from those areas. The people was protest against the Ayyappan Kovil, and the government actually give the 1 acre from the Amaravati near Kumli. Those households who were small sheds after 1 week suffered lot. But government was promised their gifts. So AKG, AK Gopalan, and started for the hunger strike in 2nd June at Kottayam, and was continued in the 6th June at Amaravati, and finally many leaders supported this strike without the political difference. They are also one of the important lessons in the history of the Idukki resistance. And the next one is Churuli strike. When the migration became the continuous issue, the government organized the commission for saving under the forest, Mr. K.P. Radhakrishna Menon, but the advice of the commission didn't help the farmers. So the farmers agitated this commission and they started for the strike in Churuli Irkoda areas. And another important and the recent strike in Idukki for the people resistance in Anakara, we know that in the 2018 LDF government decided to planning for one airport in Anakara, but the people, the government actually, the government was appointed one commissions for making of the airport, but what happened, the people was not accept the policies of the government. People resistance in Anakara is another important things in the history of the protest resistance in Idukki. And another one is Mullaperiyar people's protest. We know that is established in 1895 by Dr. John Pennike, and the leakage of dam created the tension in the minds of the lot of the people. So the Kerala people was against the established for the one people's organization, and they were against the policies of the government. And next one is the demand for land, the voice of tribal. We know that before the Manoj Madhuripalli clearly explained the history of the tribes and the cultural history and other things. So the people of the voice of the tribal, each and every day they are strike and start protesting for their continuous and the final solution. And all the ruling party was not accepting the demand of the tribal people. And finally, the last is the very recent important protest, Penpula Remain, is a women's unity beyond the trade unions. That means the main demand of the Penpula Remain for increase in the wage for the 230 to the 500, and the minimum standard of living and the hospital facilities of the plantations. So this is one of the important and the most important strike by leading by the woman in the history of the Idukki. So I am concluding my presentation. The life of Idukki attains its strength to constant strike for survival, struggles the hunger strike, transform the life of remains food crops, cash crops. Mullaperiyar strike, resistance by tribal people, the protest of Bembila Urume, starvation that means for hunger march are leaving the evidences to this. The struggle serves as a symbol for the community's political and existential consensus. That means all the developed society, developed nations and the developed states behind the history of the strike and other things. Thank you for it.